for human life. Hand down, man down.
Yeah, I can see how disrespectful he's being right now.
No, I went to Temecula and brought you some dirt.
Yeah, that's a technical.
Mama, there goes that man.
Welcome back to the Bounce, everyone. I am Kev. With me, as always, is my dear friend James. And James, I am going to hand this off immediately to you, sir, because it's a big night. But what a difference a week can make. You might have some things to say about your beloved Denver Nuggets. I'm going to mute myself. The floor is yours.
I thought the Nuggets were cooked. I thought they were done. Like there has been all these things. Now they look like a has been right down. They're down 17. But weren't they dead last week? Wasn't John talking a lot of shit?
Indeed, he was. Is he here?
Yeah, Lee. Not a good start right now. They are. It's bad news Bears right now, but they're up 3-2, and Game 7 will be at home if they lose. So guess what? We're still all right. A long game too. Listen, they've come back from down 18 before, so let's not count them out. Everybody rushed, thought anointed the Wolves the next big thing. They were cooked, and Nikola Jokic has reminded everybody who the best player in the universe is. And he had a monster Game 5.
Yes,
he had a monster 3 games leading up to get them back, man. And Anthony Edwards, I had mad respect for him, but his comments after that game made me love him. He's like, I mean, what are we supposed to do? Like, he's the best player in the world. He's a 3-time MVP. He's like, give him his props, man. Give him his flowers. It's like,
exactly.
Like, I'm not hating on. Everybody's hating on Gobert. Like the shots he was making, ain't nobody stopping him. Gobert was playing good defense.
What did John say in our Discord? Dikembe Mutombo would have been in Guantanamo Bay against Jokic.
Yeah, he would have went to Guantanamo Bay. I mean, it was one with the Force, and the Force was one with him. Like he was cooking. Welcome, Kenny. Welcome, Kenny.
Welcome, Kenny. We'll definitely be talking about our Pacers here soon. But you mentioned Jokic, so I'm going to test something out. Let's see if this works. This is the guy that is out here breaking hearts all across the NBA. A day in the life.
My name is Nikola Jokic, and this is a day in my life.
Oh, God.
Basketball is job. I don't like job. First, my loving wife wakes me up.
Nikola, get up.
Hey, what?
You have game today.
What?
You have game.
Oh, no. I want to watch horses instead.
I want to go home.
See the horse.
Nicola, no more horses. Get up. You have game today.
Next, I have to check in on horses.
There you are. Oh, my baby. You're so pretty. I love you.
Next, I accept third MVP trophy in 4 years.
The MVP for the third time over. Nikola Jokic joins us. Joker, congratulations to you on number 3.
Thank you, Ernie. Thank you very much. I don't care. It's true. I don't care. Next, I stretch while checking on horses again. Later on, I go to park and shoot hoops. It's for work. I don't like my job. Putting a basketball through a hoop is so boring. It's so easy. I don't
love
even
the
care,
form.
and it goes in.
It's perfect.
So easy. It literally goes in every time.
I don't
And
even
then
care,
I go to
and
game
it goes in.
where I drop 50.
Jokic for the win. Oh, it's good. Jokic got it off.
Wow.
Right here. There you go. H.S. Markin, the original creator there. So.
I had not seen that. What a thing.
I felt it was perfect timing. Although honestly, maybe if we weren't recording something for Dweeb, maybe if we had started at 8, it was perfect timing. But hey, here's still a chance for him to still drop that 50. But I'd love all the memes about how little Jokic cares about. Don't you just love? There are a few of those folks in the world that are just really talented at something, but you can tell they just don't like doing it. But it's what pays the bills. So here we go.
Pays the bills.
My God, he is dominating. Nate is saying Nuggets blow. Are we 3 minutes? Yeah, Nuggets blow ass today. And Johnny's in here. Wolves in 7. Now, so, okay, while we're here.
John knows it's chewy, so let's.
Oh, that's also true. Do you think if you had to put some money on it, now, which we don't condone. If you have a problem, please call the whatever the 1-800 number is. But James, are you confident enough? Are the Nuggets winning it tonight, or are you thinking now it's going to be Nuggets in 7? We know it's always Nuggets.
They're going to win tonight. I'm calling it. They're going to win tonight. They're going to win tonight.
Ooh, the win. It's funny the T-Wolves haven't won a game.
Nuggets are going to win tonight. They're going to end this.
Nate is just a constant antagonizer. That is, he really likes to.
Kenny, nobody asked you for your opinion.
Absolutely not. Kenny says the Nuggets are losing. Shout out to Audrey.
Your Pacers are losing tomorrow too.
No, Pacers. No, we're going to talk about it. You know what?
Pacer fans are going to be so sad. Just like sad. Big sack of sad in Indianapolis. All of Indiana, just sad.
We got the fever. All right, we still got the fever.
They got smoked tonight too.
Well, I'm running against a full court press right now. All right?
I
feel like Devin Booker in a pickup game. I'm about to be like, no, hell no, we don't double team and pick up. Come on, man. No wonder those teams never win anything in the playoffs, man. Guys out here calling off double teams in practice. Talking about practice, man, not a game.
Fever got smoked.
Probably bad officiating would be my take on that.
Yeah, it's always bad officiating.
Now that Caitlin Clark's there, they're just the whole league's conspiring against her. They don't want to make any money, so they're like, "Here, we're gonna make sure she loses." That's a joke, by the way. I don't actually believe any of that. Before anybody runs wild, all right. Fever getting blown the fuck out by the New York All-Star squad. So it's going to be karma. That means the Pacers are coming back to get one at home in Game 6. But before we talk about my boys, because I know we've got some Indiana folk in the chat, I am going to say, while, James, I agree with your final assessment of the Denver-Minnesota series based on where we're at right now. If we had talked about this before the game started, I might have actually taken Denver in 6, but where we're at right now, I do think Minnesota is going to pull this one out. But I said before the series started, it's hard to bet against the team that's been tops in the league this long. Like they know what it takes. In a Game 7 situation. Like, I just trust them to be the cooler heads, to make the better plays, and to have the smoother shot.
They don't have Karl Anthony Towns on their team. He's liable to disappear at any moment. So.
Oh, well, some folks, no friends of mine, have said very similar things about Tyrese Halliburton in the playoffs, James, and he hasn't had great nights every single night out there, and some have taken the angle that maybe Jalen Brunson's taken this as a little personal quest for him to outduel Tyrese Halliburton in this series. And he is getting significantly more free throw attempts. But other than that, I'm not going to sit here and deny, like, Brunson is going off in this series. And as Kenneth mentions, Tyrese has been hurt. He's been dealing with some injuries. So maybe there's something to that. But the Pacers bounced back since we were last together at 2-2. And then with one of those games being a very significant victory. Now, James, we both, I think, have said, or at least, I know my thoughts are, I don't put a lot of stake in playoff blowouts because I know it's not a sprint. I know how these things are coached, and that at a certain point, white flags saved, and the score isn't always indicative of the skill level of the two teams, which is what we saw in this Pacers-Knicks series. They trade blowouts. Knicks come back, get their blowout. So now we're sitting here 3-2. Knicks are in the lead. Obviously, we know what me and some of the boys in the chat are going to say about this. Keebler's not here to go all in on the Knicks, so we're going to start with you, James. You're the voice of reason here. Pacers, Knicks, who you got?
Game 6 is in Indy tomorrow night, right?
Yes, sir.
I like it to go 7, but I like the Knicks in 7. It's been gone back. I like it in 7, but Halliburton's just been all over the place. been great some games and just not been there. So and I guess it's a learning process. However you want to say it. It's the first time here. Whoa, Kenny! Whoa! But think of the children.
Woo! Look at that.
He's just kind of been all over the place. So give me Knicks in 7. Jalen Brunson's been a monster. Give me Knicks in 7.
Whew, Knicks in 7.
Look at that. The Nuggets are down 13 already. There they come back.
I will go out on a limb and say that Keebler would pick the Knicks in 6. So I'm going to go ahead and make that statement for him. And I, of course, am going to, not only for Kenneth's sake, but for all of the good fans in Indianapolis and all the Pacers fans around the world now that Tyrese Halliburton is a superstar. I'm going Pacers in 7, baby. A heartbreaker. They're going to win in Game 6. It's going to be
Didn't see that
a close one. Yeah, no one would have predicted that one.
Didn't see that one coming.
Going to be a pretty close affair in both games. Give me the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton's going to have his first Reggie Miller moment in the Garden. He's going to make up for a rough series and it's going to be a team effort. Home cooking. Game 6 is going to be a lot of Siakam in Game 6, but Game 7 is going to be the Halliburton game where he gets to do one of these on the way out. Right here. Pacers in 7. I had to do it.
You Knicks or you Pacers fans.
See, leaves with it. The Pacers win tomorrow. They will win Sunday, and
you are
MSG.
Kenny, you're the savior. Get out of here.
We're gonna talk about this with the Thunder Maverick series, and I talked about it last night on playback. And I want to ask your opinion on this, honestly, James, and you can apply it to either series, however you want. When you have a younger team, to a certain extent, versus a veteran team, or maybe even if they're both young, does the home advantage in Game 7 not turn into like a stressor, maybe a disadvantage? Like there's way more pressure on the home team. Like, yeah, you get the energy of the crowd, but all the pressure is on you. You know, that's sort of what I was saying about the Thunder Dallas series, that Game 7 might actually be where it could play out. You know, what the Thunder, I can't remember how it's going to play. But anyway, the away team being Game 7 might have an advantage against a young team. I think it's Thunder home team. Game 7.
Game 7, yeah.
Right, and so it's going to play to the Mavericks' hands because you're going to have all these young guys. They're one of their first big Game 7 of their career. All this stress, and whereas the Mavericks can come in and play loose and play spoiler. What do you think about that? Is Game 7 at home still the advantage for the young team?
I think it's still the advantage, but I hear what you're saying. Like, it could go against them if they're not ready for it. I think there's a lot of pressure in that situation. But I mean, the Thunder are the 1 seed for a reason. Like, I know they're young and they don't know what they're not supposed to be there, but I don't see it like that. I would rather have Game 7 at home. Like, I think they have a tougher time. Game 6 in Dallas, with Dallas a chance to clinch it, that's not good. That one's not good. That's not fun.
That is a tough one, and we can actually just stay there if you want, because that was one of the games last night, and we've got that. What is that going to be? Saturday then? Game 6.
Yeah. Is it? I think it's Saturday. Let's see. I believe that one's Saturday.
But as you look that up, yeah, if you guys missed it last night, I hopped over onto playback because I saw a tweet that said this is the most exciting double-digit deficit game I've seen in a long time. And so I had to see what the hell that meant. And so caught on. And there were some just incredible plays. A couple of them out of maybe trying to do too much. But the theme of the fourth quarter was the unnecessary extra pass at times, where there was really just like, you have the shot. There's a clip of me. I never thought I'd say it. Like, Kyrie should have taken that shot instead of like, what was the point of that pass? He was open. But it was a pretty thrilling game back and forth. But going into that, James, what are your thoughts about that series, about last night's game and going forward?
I said it last year when, like, put Luka in the playoffs, and I'm scared. I don't like it. Anybody that's got to play him, I don't like it. They're good. I love the Thunder, though. I hope the Thunder find a way. But playoff Luka is a different monster, too. We've seen that a lot.
Yeah, I think at this point, yeah, I really think it is going Dallas. Keebler, it's a shame. Shouts out to Keebler. We know he's out there working hard.
He's working hard.
This episode feels like it was meant for him because he
Mm-hmm.
could be gloating on me about where his Knicks are at, but then also the Mavericks are his Western Conference team. So I know he's feeling good about that performance, and he'd got to be feeling good about their position. Luka, phenomenal. Absolutely.
Yeah, triple-double the other night, 31, 11, and 10 on 22 shots.
Any worry?
What's that?
I was just saying, any worry about his injuries? I know the post-game interview, the guy listed about 7 different injuries. Apparently, he lost a tooth too, or something. That's how banged up. He's like, Luke is out there looking like your beloved Steve McNair. Just out here, just covered in athletic tape. Just got an injury he looks like the Predator could see him from a mile away.
I don't think so. I'm not worried about him. They seem all kind of knick-knack stuff, and also like it's playoffs. He'll find a way. He'll find a way to play. It's interesting, like looking at Kyrie's stats. Kyrie had 12 points on 11 shots. That was it. 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Kind of wild. PJ Washington's been really good this series. Derek Jones.
Yeah.
Junior's been good defensively.
Unsung hero last night, Derek Lively. At one point in the game, they went to a hack-a-shack scenario. They tried to foul Lively as soon as they got across half court. He's 60% from the field or from the free throw line in the regular season, but was shooting at 50 or 51% going into that. Hits them both. They go away from that, they being the Thunder, pronouns, pal, sorry. So the Thunder decide we're not going to hack Lively. We're just going to play defense. And then at one point, Tim Hardaway Jr. Makes a bonehead play, which is fair because his dad is kind of a bonehead. So, like father, like son there. In a situation where you're up and you have good free throw shooters on the court, Timmy decides he's going to kick it out to Lively instead of letting himself get fouled. So then our boy has to go back up to line again. Our 51%. Goddamn, and doesn't he happens to hit them both yet again.
So
he's
not pleased at all. Lively's been really good. He's been defensive anchor for them boys. I think one of the big storylines of this series is how unplayable Josh Giddey's been.
Holy cow!
He can't shoot,
and you can't put the ball in his hands because so you can't be a playmaker without the ball. The one thing that he can do really is set people up, make good passes. But what are you going to take the ball out of SGA's hands or what? No. Even Jalen Williams at that point.
Jalen Williams, like all of them, like no.
Hell, put it in Lou Dort's hands.
Yeah.
Over Giddey at this point. So you're basically able to play zone. You can just have somebody sagging 8 feet off of him.
That's been a huge storyline. Like he just can't play without the ball, and he can't shoot. Like he can't shoot. It's a huge problem.
I think he's unplayable.
He only played 12 minutes last night.
Yep, and it has gone down. I mean, that's actually up a bit from the previous game, I think, maybe by 1 minute. But he did come in at the very end in garbage time, I think, and got a layup. Yeah. So maybe that. But he's Ben Simmons right now, in a sense, where
just not hurt.
The things that he does. The pros don't outweigh the cons. And right now, when you're down 3-2, I would not be surprised if Josh Giddey sees 0 minutes in the next game.
It would not surprise me if he played very little.
If he sees any, it's going to be very strategic. It's going to be 30 seconds before a TV timeout or the final minute of a quarter where it's like, can we steal 3 or 4 possessions with this guy on the court and not lose 3 or 4 points on the aggregate? Like, are we going to be able to do that? And it's tough. The Thunder might have some decisions ahead of them with that. I know it seems like whatever allegations he was facing off the court, I don't know of any updates about that, but innocent until proven guilty and all that. But at the same time, if you're also not producing on the court, at what are the Thunder might be moving on from Giddey at some point. I don't know.
Yep.
Interesting to see. There's so much young talent. Maybe he'll flourish somewhere else where he will have the ball in his hands more. But nah, he's unplayable to me. I'm gonna go with Dallas to win this one. I just think I'm going against the Thunder just based off what I saw last night in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They it's not like they played poorly, but Dallas made some plays defensively that you
Dallas
don't
defensively
think
has
of.
been pretty good.
Right, last
Which is
year that would have
surprising.
been the knock on them. Their biggest plays in the fourth quarter last night were on defense. Hell, Luka had a block. He had a big block
Kyrie's
late
been
in the
trying to
game.
play defense, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think it was Jones who came out of nowhere. That one of the good extra passes, the kick penetrating pass to the corner. They swing it to Holmgren. He's at the wing. He's open. The freaking slender man is shooting it from three, and I believe it was Jones comes out of nowhere from off screen like he's a Monstar in Space Jam. Gets the block, and then it's a lob pass to him. Dunk the other way. Like
how about Luka's full
defensive end?
fucking lob pass last night?
Yeah,
the alley-oop, man.
They just that performance. I have faith in the Thunder. I felt like they were a year ahead. You know, with this record wise, like they're so young. I don't see this as a complete failure. If they were to lose Game 6 and get knocked out, I talk about this all the time. Young NBA teams, there's a pattern in history of them. You have to take your lumps in the playoffs. Usually,
they're ahead of schedule.
You face that adversity,
They have like
and then
29
eventually,
picks still. So what's it matter?
Yeah, so I won't be surprised if they fall short. And right now, that would be my pick. Maybe it's Dallas in 7. I feel like it's Dallas in 6.
I like
don't know.
Dallas.
I don't think it comes back.
I like Dallas in 6 too. I really like Dallas at home there. I feel bad, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, Lee says a bad move by Thunder coach changing starting lineups. It's I mean that's a tricky one, right, James? Just
tough.
Generally
They play
speaking, to change up your rotation in the middle of a series like that, but that's
tough.
what you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Like if it works, you look like a genius, and if it doesn't, because I know there have been other times. So for instance, Pacer fans throughout different times have criticized Carlisle's rotation, right? Where it's like, okay, there are games where people
Kenny's
think
one of them.
He's playing too many people, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, when we stick to this 8-9 man rotation, we've been winning these games. You got some guys that maybe aren't ready for this spotlight yet. And then there are other times where you're looking at it and you're like, hey, why hasn't TJ McConnell seen the floor in 5 minutes, you know, when he's having the kind of game that he's playing? So sometimes it's just noticing like, hey, our guy's eating tonight. I know he's scheduled for about 17 minutes, but tonight feels like he's going to play 23 because he's adding value to what we're doing. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think, James? Do you think do you agree it was a bad move by the Thunder to switch that, or is that just was it?
I think they had to. Otherwise, they might be done already. Like you can't understate how bad Giddey has been. He's virtually unplayable. You know, you can't. It's tough. It's so tough to play him right now because he can't shoot. He can't play. He can't do anything. If he can't shoot, he can't do anything without the ball in his hands. Like just like you said, you can't take it out of SGA's hands. Like he has to have the ball. He's your best player.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're just gonna double somebody. Everybody's gonna be able to play great help defense on that first pass because Giddey's man won't be guarding him. He'll be cutting off passing lanes. He'll be halfway into the. He'll have to watch his feet. Make sure he didn't get called for a defensive 3 seconds. To be honest with you, so it's like I say, I think it's situational based, and it can be really tricky when they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I agree with James here. That, I think you had to get away from Giddey.
Yeah, I agree. Just you had to get away from him. You had to get away from him.
Well, we were talking about if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But for the Celtics this playoff run has been we're going to beat a bunch of broken teams on the way to this run. That wasn't a great transition, admittedly, but James, the Celtics have advanced, and there have been some weird rumblings in the Cavs camp that I want to talk to you about. But first, just your thoughts generally on the series. Of course, the Celtics handle business. Is there an asterisk here because of the injury to Donovan Mitchell? What are your thoughts?
I mean, there's never an asterisk. There's never an asterisk on anything. Let's get that out of the way. Like, that's not a real thing. Does it suck that the Celtics have now played the Heat without Jimmy Butler and the Cavs without Donovan Mitchell? Absolutely, it does.
And Jared Allen.
It sucks.
Which, not Spider, but still.
It sucks. It just sucks. The NBA gets blamed for the Jimmy Butler one. They shouldn't have played that stupid play in the game against those teams.
Yes.
But this one, there's nothing you can do about it. Donovan Mitchell strained his calf or something like that. Yeah, they're lucky. It's just it's the dumb luck. And even like if the Knicks make it, they're without Julius Randle and they're big that I can't think of his name right now.
Mitchell Robinson, and there's another one too. There's the third.
Yeah. OG's been hurt, like he has been playing.
Yep.
If they get the Pacers, no Benedict Mathurin,
who finally started shooting jump shots today. At least the first footage I've seen of it.
Yeah.
So first time since March I've seen footage of him actually shooting jumpers in the gym. So good news on that front.
Yes, they've earned it. Like I think it's their 6th conference finals in 8 seasons. Like they get their props, man. Like Jaylen Brown and Tatum are still young. Jaylen Brown gets given a lot of props after last year, but it's just like they are lucky. It's just the reality of it. Over in the West, you've got dudes killing each other over there. The 7-game series happened. You got Pacers Knicks dragging out, and they're just off their way in. A
couple of banged up teams on their way maybe to a best of 7, and Boston just gets to chill and rest up.
Now, in Boston's credit, like they're missing Porzingis. Like let's call a spade here. Like you can't gotta count that into it. Like
there's count too. Yeah,
there's count too. So that's I hope he's back. I hope KP's back for the next series. Like they're better with him, and it's more fun when everybody's healthy. But they've gotten pretty lucky on the injury front and having and everything that's gone along with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I have a couple of rumors that were going around on Twitter regarding the Cavs and their locker room. Now, the first one was outright denied. People were talking about Donovan Mitchell being frustrated by his teammates' apparent lack of effort. He quote tweeted that, saying it was cap, and just saying the standard media makes me sick kind of post.
100%.
Which is obviously what he would do and what he should do, whether he said those things to any source or not. I tend to believe him. I can't imagine. I don't know. I tend to believe him on this one, especially considering the type of nonsense rumors you see on Twitter. Now, another one, which I will admit, I will give the same grain of salt as, in hopes that this is not how the Cavs organization is run. But James, I saw a tweet that suggested there were several folks in the Cavs organization and maybe even some of his teammates that were mad at Jarrett Allen for not getting an injection into his ribs so that he might have a chance to play through the pain in that series. And I wanted to know your thoughts on that. A, do you think it's true? And then just B, if you do think it's true, is that the right attitude for teammates in a franchise to have?
When it comes to injuries like that, like when you're starting to talk injections and stuff, like I'm out. I'm not. You're talking about that kind of stuff. You got to do what you think is best. Like I ain't in. Like obviously, it was not a good injury because he didn't play at all.
Yes.
When you start talking about injections and stuff, like I'm on the sidelines. That's a whole different ball game. Starting to put that kind of stuff in your body, you don't know. Is it going to get re-injured? The long-term effects. I'm like, nope, I'm out on that kind of shit. I wouldn't hold it against him. Absolutely not.
I completely agree with you. I think now maybe I am biased having watched. Oh God damn it! Oh, what was it? Varsity Blues? There we go. As a young kid, I got to see that. I saw what happened with that when that dickhead coach was, syringing up his athletes. But no, I'm always on the fan. I'm always on the side of athlete safety, and I just think, to be fair, and maybe I'm wrong in my assessment of this series, and Cavs fans might take this one as a shot, but I did not genuinely believe that even if you added Jarrett Allen to that they were I just didn't think they were going to win this series either way.
No,
And
I agree with that. Yeah.
Maybe. And again, I should probably just take James's route and say, hey, I'm out on this one. That's up to the player. And and which is 100% where I start. But the only time I would even want to consider it would have to be an NBA Finals. Like, it's not going to be the Eastern Conference semis, dude. Like, what? There's so much more that could happen after that. You're going to risk this young athlete's entire future that you're heavily invested in, by the way. He doesn't play for free for you.
Yeah.
And on the off chance that you might get lucky for the next 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to have him risk his whole future. That just seems incredibly short-sighted and dumb.
That's how I feel about it. Like, it's just no. Like, it's a real injury. Like, let's not jeopardize his future. That's exactly how I feel about it. Absolutely.
For the sake of the Cavs, I'm going to press X to doubt on the report. Mention that, it hasn't been confirmed. In fact, I would like to believe it is false, but I thought it was a opportunity to talk about that.
You don't know if it's true or false, but we just I press X to doubt. I'm the same way, but I hope it's not true. Like, if it is, that sucks.
Yeah, agreed. Any update on your end with the Nuggets and Wolves game? Because I think we've talked about every series. I knew this. The closer we get to the finals, sometimes the shorter the episodes get.
I know they get short. It's not good. 55-33. It's a massacre.
Ooh. Well, you know what? I guess I won't be.
They might not be
on playback after this. I might not.
22-point
game might be hard to keep folks entertained. By God.
What do you have any thoughts on LeBron attending the Cavs game? Everybody's freaking out because the last time he did that, he then proceeded to sign with them.
He is a free agent now, right? Once we go into the season, is right.
Yeah.
He decline. I mean, I think he declines that option every time anyway.
He is a free agent, yes.
I sincerely doubt he would go to this Cleveland team. But no, actually, maybe I don't. The East, it's not like it was 20 years ago, James, but in my humble opinion, the East is a bit easier than the West right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The West, 1 through 8, a lot of talent. Yeah.
Was it the Kings that had a better record this year and fell like 6 spots?
Yeah, exactly. They're like the 7 seed or something. Wild. Meanwhile, in the East, my beloved Pacers at a 6 seed are a banged up team that, I don't know what they would do in the West, and I love them to death.
Yeah,
but
I agree with that.
All I'm saying is, and then when you had the Magic up there, who Grant in the 4 seed, great team this year, ahead of schedule, they're not winning a title. So I'm just saying, if I'm LeBron, maybe an Eastern Conference team is looking more attractive to me. And there are other perks outside of basketball, other reasons for him to come back to Cleveland. And it's not the most difficult division in basketball right now. The Bulls are down. We don't know what's going on with the Bucks. They're about to be on their 4th head coach in 2 years or something like that. And the Pistons are the Pistons. Yeah. So maybe LeBron goes to Cleveland. What do you think, James? Is it just him going home?
I think it depends a lot on Donovan Mitchell. Like, Donovan Mitchell is a player option after the season and can be a free agent. It looks like. He could sign a 4-year, $208 million extension with Cavs. He can't get that money elsewhere. And also, like, he's talked about it relentlessly. LeBron wants to play with his son. And whether his comments now
He was in the
about why are
draft.
we talking about this? Like, you did this. Like, you said it. Nobody else did. You did this to your son. You put this kind of pressure on him.
La hypocrite, but
Yeah, you did this. So let's call a spade a spade. I said that before. Like, you know what? You did this because you said it. I don't think his son's good enough to play in the league, but that's a whole other story entirely. So whoever gets a son, I think that's like it's going to be a
would
play
you
a big part in
use
it.
would you use a late first or an early second on Bronny Jr. just as
I
a
heard- I saw
bargaining chip
people-
to get his
I
dad?
saw- yeah, absolutely. You thought you could get him? Absolutely. But I saw people be,
Lee and I are on the same wavelength right there. Cleveland doesn't have a second round
Yeah.
pick, so they can't get Bronny. So LeBron was just visiting.
I mean, I've seen people being like, it's a bad draft. If you were the Hawks, would you just throw it away, draft Bronny with the number 1 overall pick, and then get LeBron? I'm like, they're not going to win a title that way. Like, I wouldn't mortgage my future away, but
the Hawks are also talking about trading Trae Young. So I don't know.
I don't like Trae Young. So
well, right. So maybe they could do
Yeah.
that. Like maybe they could get some assets in return. LeBron, DeJounte, and some decent rotation pieces could do some damage. That would, dude, LeBron in Atlanta
would be awful.
that-
Like, they would.
that feels like some MCU
It feels gross, right?
what if series shit right there. Like I'm in a parallel universe.
Mm-hmm. So
Also,
I
Bronny
absolutely
Jr. goes number 1 overall. I'd be sick. That's nepotism to the highest degree.
sick. He's not. He was no good. I think somebody blows a first round pick on him to get LeBron. I really do. I think once you get outside the lottery, it's on.
Yeah, usually beyond like pick 17, most years it's a dart throw anyway.
Yep.
There will inevitably be a couple of guys that slide back there, but then it depends on fit.
Yep.
Some of those guys fall because they're just not the right fit. But chances are, if you're in the mid to late 20s, why not? Chances are that guy's not going to make your roster anyway.
Take him, you get LeBron. Guess what? You got LeBron. It's essentially drafting LeBron is what you're trying to do.
Think he goes to the Spurs to play with Wemby?
Man, that'd be fun, wouldn't it?
Right.
That'd be really fun.
Know what I'm doing in 2K later?
You're gonna, there it is. Send me to watch this game because the Nuggets are down 24 at half.
Yeah, got plenty of free time after this.
Really making me look good here.
This year, past 6 is not going to make the roster.
This is one of the weakest drafts I've ever seen. It's bad.
You're right. We've been spoiled the last couple of years if you look at some of the talent. But this is the year people are going to get overpaid in the offseason.
If you want players, you got to get them free agency because the draft is rough.
See some trades. I heard a rumor that the Spurs are going to be trading Keldon Johnson in the offseason. Any thoughts on that as a potential piece for somebody?
Whatever they got to do to get their team better for Wemby, that's all I have to say. Whatever you got to do to get better.
Yeah, I'll admit that I didn't do any research to know sort of what the market will be for him. But it is a player I'm interested in watching. I think Keldon's pretty good. He's been inconsistent over there, but that's him and Trae Young have been the players that I've just recently been hearing rumors of. These guys are gone. They're going to be traded in the offseason. So inevitably we'll have some more. I'm sure of that, but it's looking like your Nuggets are not going to
finish it tonight. I think I'm going to have to eat that one.
Sticking with your Game 7 prediction?
Oh, yeah, they're winning in Game 7. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Lee's right. There's a lot of I'm just looking at a mock draft right now. There's a lot. It's going to be a lot of foreigners and a lot of G League. He's right. Yeah.
Yep.
He's absolutely right. That's why I'm just kind of scrolling through, and right now as we were talking about that, I'm like,
which may be the future of the draft, if I'm being honest, James. The
foreigners are good, man.
We might get to a point where as the top talent, especially as players, their careers last longer and stuff like that, where you see, I mean, WNBA is much smaller, but it's wild. You watch, you'll see teams like I think the 17th overall pick or something was cut. You know, like their first round picks don't always make their roster because they just don't have they don't have enough depth in the league. It's a smaller league, and I don't know that the NBA will ever have that type of a problem. But because it's expanding, you know, there will be more opportunities with the G League. G League will maybe eventually go from Twitch to something else. You know, it'll be something that is more watched. People may watch more of these Europe leagues, and it becomes more like how baseball has the single A to triple A farm system. I think basketball continues to grow on a global scale. And because of that, I do think we are going to see a lot more players get drafted in that baseball style where somebody owns your rights for 2 years and you're actually not going to be playing there immediately. And I know we've seen that previously with some European players getting drafted while they're still under contract to whoever they're playing for. I think we may also see teams get drafted and then, you know, just be allowed to go play in Europe out of college or something like, oh, hey, buddy, you know, we don't, the G League isn't quite beefed up to where we need it to be. We want the rights to you, but we want you to go develop. So go play in Spain this season and we'll see you in the summer, something like that.
I'm trying to see. This is an ESPN draft.
Yeah, lead points at only 144 players on WNBA teams. So it's wild. Like some high-rated draft picks won't make the league. I hope they are able to get to an expansion soon. But yeah, it's nuts. One of my former podcast co-hosts, Megan L. Hall, she writes for the NBA FTW, and she's been covering all the releases up into the season. It's just wild to see some of these.
ESPN's most up-to-date mock draft does not have Bronny James getting drafted, and I find that I don't see that happening at all.
Is that
somebody's
the last couple of days or
May 12th? So this was
May 12th. Okay,
Sunday.
Because he had already declared, but he did it so
between that time. He said he's
go.
Yeah,
because he also entered the transfer portal. But now
I think he's fully in, right?
He's in.
Yeah.
Well, he's at least been fully cleared. He's been cleared by the doctor. I don't know if he still has that door to go back to college.
I thought he was in.
You think he's fully in?
I think he's fully in. I thought.
Bold strategy. Hey, I'm just saying, if Thanasis Antetokounmpo continues to have roster spots year in and year out, someone's going to have a spot for Bronny James.
Yeah,
so I'm with you. There's no way he doesn't get drafted. If you're sitting there with the very last pick in the second round, somehow Bronny James, like of course he's getting taken at the back of the second round
and hoping that you can get LeBron. Absolutely. That's he's getting there.
Or also, it's not just that, James. That's obviously the first. But what if you're a GM sitting there thinking, you know what? I don't necessarily have an interest for LeBron James, but if I draft his son and there's a team he wants to go sign with, but one of the contingencies or, you know, one of the details that he needs, you know, is I want Bronny Jr. Okay, well, now guess what? You got to trade with me to get Bronny Jr., who you need for LeBron. So it's just a nice little bargaining chip to have, whether you're in the LeBron market or not. So I just can't see him, you know, really making it past midway into the second round. Somebody's going to jump on that.
Lee, I closed that with the Lakers.
Ooh, the Lakers have the 55th pick. So yeah, I bet they.
Yeah. I feel like there's a scramble. Like at some point, it's going to get real. Like
James, do you think there's any part of the Lakers front office that's just like, yeah, LeBron can go? Or do you think they will make moves to try to secure that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, I could see them moving on, but they don't have anything as a problem.
They're not winning anything with that. Mark my words. LeBron, AD, they got the one. You know, they're not. That's done.
I agree. They can't, but who knows? You know, who knows?
They can't keep gambling on these fringe secondary players. Now, who knows with Gabe Vincent? He got hurt. Maybe there really was something there, but
he was good for the Heat last year in the playoffs, but
They have a lot of these experiments have failed. And then maybe that's a Darvin Ham thing too. They did bring in a lot of players that had some potential. I do remember being high on the moves. There was one point in time I thought, how the fuck do Lakers keep getting away with?
I thought they had a great offseason.
Yeah.
I thought they had a great offseason.
We were wrong.
It translated and getting smoked out by the Nuggets again. You know?
Yeah, sometimes sometimes you just got to move on and try something new, and it would suck, of course, to lose a player of that caliber without getting anything in return. But hey, you got that title, and so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
of
you
course,
got a title out of it, so it worked out for you.
Keeping an eye on all of that stuff. But James, were there any other topics in the world of hoops that you wanted to touch on while we were here?
No, I was just looking to see if there was, and I don't think so. It's kind of it's been a. So you don't have a ton of games right now. It's a quiet. It's quiet on the offseason front right now. Bickerstaff's question is futures in question with the Cavs, which isn't surprising. Mitchell will have a part to play in that. Nets are going to retire. Is that Vince Carter's jersey? Oh, good for him. Yeah, Nets are retiring Vince Carter's jersey, so good for him.
Shouts out.
Yeah, he was a stud. He was awesome.
Perk must have pissed the Wolves off because his
Perk's comment. He's ridiculous. I don't know.
Man, Kendrick Perkins just not someone I enjoy listening to.
Yeah, at all. At all.
You know, I definitely want to say thank you to all of you who watched today. I know
Thank you
Kevin
guys.
pointed out at one point we had 59 or something on Facebook. We were
that was wild.
I think we were at one point we had over 100 concurrent viewers across the eight platforms that we're streaming on right now. So we greatly appreciate all of you for that. But I know I was originally planning on watching the rest of this game on playback. I think I'm going to sit it out. I'll keep an eye on it. If it gets close, we'll hop on. But other than that,
it's
I think
19 and a half right now. I don't think you have anything to worry about there.
Well, we will see. We'll keep an eye on it. But James, so often we run longer than our scheduled run time.
It's kind of wild, yeah.
Wouldn't hurt every once in a while to get out a little bit early.
Breather. We've been filming a lot of stuff this week. This is our third live show together. We filmed some stuff before this. We have been going strong this week.
Yes, sir, and plenty more to come. So make sure you guys like and subscribe if you've enjoyed it. We again greatly appreciate it, especially
Lee,
all the folks in the chat. Lee, Kenny, Nate, Johnny.
Johnny Football was in there. Yeah, appreciate you guys.
So with that in mind, James, where can the good folks at home find you on nights other than Thursdays?
Yeah, we're always here on Thursdays, which I will not. I don't know if we'll have a show next Thursday because I will be gone. So that's a good question.
That's a good point. Thursday may turn into a playback stream where we just watch one of the games and hang out together. And if my rig can hold up, I may simulcast it, and so we'll still be here. So if you watch us on YouTube, Twitter, you may still be able to hang out with us. You just won't be able to see the same game footage that we'll be watching over on playback. But it's a playback TV / Bite Size Sports. If you want to go ahead and join our room over there, and of course I'll always post it on our Twitter and my Twitter. So that's what we might be doing next Thursday. But sorry, I interrupted you there, James.
Oh, you're good. You catch us Mondays at 6 p.m. over a lot of our stuff is on our sister station right now. We're doing a lot of nerd stuff on the Weekly Dweeb, where we talk about our favorite stories from the entertainment industry. Past week, I agree with that. I think that's actually correct. I think the Nuggets are going to be playing the Mavericks next week. Wednesdays, 9 p.m., you can catch us talking Star Wars on Han Shot First. Next week also will be a recorded show there because I will be gone. And you can catch us here every Thursday, except next Thursday at 9 p.m. because I am Memorial Day is a big weekend for me, so I'm out of town.
Oh yeah, and you know you can catch me with the other of the three Eggsketeers, our dear bald friend Danny over there on the Clout Route, Tuesday nights, Sunday nights, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can also catch me on Carnage Media and right here on Bite Size Sports Wednesdays at 7:30, doing Carnage Unleashed, where we talk about all the newest MMA
He's a
and
busy
boxing
man.
news.
He's a busy man.
Got the Wrestling Minute in there as well. And yeah, pay-per-views coming up next weekend, calling some pro boxing and amateur kickboxing at the same event. That's very exciting. And of course, the Lima Warriors, the Players Association, the Players Football Association. I'll be there on Saturday calling all the action for that. So anyway, you want to keep up
busy man
with all my shenanigans. As Chris Jackson once said, the V in
Shenanigans?
Kev stands for variety. So you can follow me at KevNevick_, and all of our live streams go on my Twitter there. So that's a great way to keep tabs on us. Thank you all again so
Thank
much
you guys
for hanging out with us.
Great. Thank you.
Greatly appreciate you. And please accept our token of appreciation and add on the way out. Thank you. Are you looking for an energy boost without the jitters? Let our friends at Dubby Energy help you with their fantastic selection of flavors. Just visit www.dubby.gg and use the code BITESIZESPORTS at checkout for 10% off your order total. Again, that is www.dubby.gg. Code BITESIZESPORTS.